Hello, spooky followers. My name is Indigo Grimm, here with a brand new spooky review. This time around, I'm going to be talking about a haunted game. Now, I know what you're about to say. Yes, I do know in the Creepypasta world, there's a lot of horror games that has creepypastas in. But I'm going to talk about the one famous one that scared me when I was a young pup and my older Halloween spirit brother torment me with. And this is also his favorite game on top of that. Not mine, in my own opinion. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm here to talk about the one, the only Ben Drowned. Or Ben, if you want to be particular. Ben is actually a haunted game cartridge from the 64 cart game. Well, I should have said a Nintendo 64 cartridge. Basically. This, he actually is a ghost by haunted game. And the game that he resides is called Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Yep. My older brother had a 3D version of this game. Even I had one. But back before they remade the game, my brother tormented me with this lovely game and Ben Drowner as well, terrifying me to no end. Not anymore, since I know that if I find a N64 cartridge of Majora Mask, the first thing I'm going to do is sell it. Sell it or burn it. I'm not even kidding because I'm not dealing with that. I don't care if it costs me millions of dollars to destroy it or get rid of it. Okay, back I was saying. The game, and yes, I do have the 3D version of this game, but I'm not dealing with it. Because if I find out that the creepypasta that actually torments me when I was a young pup was on this game, I'm not going to play it. And it doesn't help, this is just what I heard, that some people actually wanted Ben Drowner be in the remake of Legend of Zelda 3 Majora Mask 3D version. Me, on the other hand, being a Halloween spirit, would rather not deal with him. Yeah, no. Not only that, if you find a game a very strange activity, for example, the story follows a college student who discovered the game who was possessed by Ben, who was experimented by a cult. Yay, another cult story. Yay. You already know my gripe about cults. If you don't know, don't worry. Mal is making a video about my story. So, keep an eye on that. But still. But in the story about this poor, innocent boy that is now trapped in a game, basically the cult was called the Moon Child, who worshipped the moon, conducts experiments on young children, Ben was the first experiment. He wanted to be his hero Link, but unfortunately, he died in the process. Basically, if I remember the story right, to the ritual they actually used, they had to use an item and they picked the game called Majora Mask, the Nintendo 64 cartridge, and the boy and drowned him. Basically. That way they call him Ben Drowned. Basically. Now he is doomed to become his favorite hero, but not a good way. Now, basically, when people find a Nintendo 64 Majora Mask, strange things happen, especially if you find a file with Ben's name, basically. And a lot of things comes to real. One, you find a statue, or a lot of other things would happen, unexplained things. But the number one thing is Ben will torment you, basically, to the point that he will try to grab you and drag you into, I'll say it, into the water, basically. That's why people call him Ben Drowner, basically. Now, before you guys get too scared, this is actually, don't worry, no one exactly have the game in 64, unless because one is very, 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 very rare to find a game like that nowadays. Two, the game Majora Mask with Ben's name on it is basically a 0.5 rate to get him. And for me, that's a good thing. Even though, yeah, I'm not scared of him anymore. Now, when I was a young pup, I was terrified about that stupid creepypasta. But that's because my brother torments me with it. But at least I'm not afraid of porcelain dolls. Thank the Lord for that. Or clowns. Again, I'm not that scared. But still, Ben Drowner is actually a very, very famous creepypasta, even today. So that's why a lot of people love him in the creepypasta world. Not just for the fear that people love taking in, but I do remember that some people actually did a lot of memes about him and all the way down. Being a gamer, spirit entrapped in a game cartridge, but that doesn't mean that he could come out. I mean, not literally. Not only that, he does have some abilities, just like Link. Except glitching out, coming out of the game and probably kill you. Or drag you into the world of underwater, should I say. People who are afraid of water, I'm sorry, but you're the one who clicked on the video. But basically, the only game that he resides is Legend of Zelda Majora Mask. The one and only creepiest game that people made. And if you don't believe me, look it up or play it for yourself because it is kind of scary. Especially that moon. Ugh. But that's the only game that he resides. Trust me. And it's also from the N64 cartridge only, not the 3D version. But for me, back then, when the game got a remake, I still didn't want to take a chance. Even though my spooky mother gave me the game, I still haven't played it because I was not taking a chance with it. Now, since I'm older, am I going to play it? No. I got other games that I could play than this one. Plus, I've seen a lot of playthroughs from YouTubers that, so I'm good. Maybe some Resident Evil, maybe. Eh, I'll think about it. But still, Ben is actually very famous in his own way, being the only Link. Well, except Dark Link, but I'll get to him in a minute, in a later video. But for me, Ben Drowner, or Ben, is actually pretty unique. I love his style though. Now, the fear factor, when I was a kid, yeah, I was terrified of him. Now, since I'm older, and not anymore. I'm not afraid of him anymore since one, I know for a fact that if I see the warnings, like seeing a file with his name on it, I'm not gonna play it, I'm gonna sell it. For one. Because one, I am not dealing with him. Or two, probably sell it to a haunted item shop or something. That's just me talking. So yeah. Knowing that, when the story about Ben came out, a lot of people got terrified of him. To the point that a lot of people was asked very wary about buying the game. And I can't exactly blame them. I mean, seriously, they should have known better. But a lot of people, this also have potential fear about technology and paranormal hauntings about technology itself. So, in my own begrudgingly, this is actually a good thing for the haunted items. Without Ben, a lot of people would know that haunted items would be existed now, like dolls, games, music, items. You don't know what's haunted or not. But that's why a lot of people love stuff like this. But for me, even though Ben Drowner here is a good creepypasta to start, if you want to know about a haunted item like him and a few others, I would highly recommend you to go check out the story for yourself. Trust me, it's a good read. If if you don't want your favorite game of Legend of Zelda be ruined, then I will highly recommend you not to read it. But if you still want to read it, I'll say one thing, go for it, my spooky followers, because it's a good read. Even when I was a mere pup, I was terrified when my brother told me about this lovely creepypasta. Not anymore, though. Now, me and this type of creepypasta is actually pretty good. So if I were you, go ahead and read it for yourself to see how it does. But for now, I got another song to review, and this time it's actually pretty interesting because I'm going to be talking about a My Little Pony creepypasta. So until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay spooky.